Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I am Chris, your host, and today we're going to talk about a certain question that people usually ask me, or maybe they ask you, we don't know. The question is, do you talk to yourself? Or why are you talking to yourself? Or are you crazy? This question basically, people ask it because they don't know what is happening in your head, or maybe they do know, but they want to seem cooler than you know. I'm gonna make this guy go down. Well, I'm here to answer this question today, and hopefully you can understand why I speak to myself. Well, during the day, there's a voice in our head, which is basically the voice of our inner dialogue, or the voice of our brain, or our heart, or our soul, speaking to us through the many patterns in our head. And usually many people ignore this voice, because they think that it's, you're crazy if you're talking to yourself. And I'd say to those people, don't be afraid to talk to yourself, because he is the number one person that is actually listening to you. And he is the number one person who is actually responding to you and your replies and your thoughts every single second, every single hour, So don't be afraid of talking to yourself. Whenever I'm sitting here right now, like even now, I hear it speaking to me and telling me exactly what to say a split second before I say it. I am observing it. So that means, accept that voice, there's someone else in here. Well, the real topic of today's video is the 4 phases, or 5 or 6, depending on how back you go, the 4 phases of the spirit, the 4 phases of consciousness, the 4 phases of the soul. So let's look deeper, right? This body that you're looking at right now is Chris, the host. But behind that body, if you look deep inside the eyes, behind the glasses, behind the iris, behind the colorful nice ones, you will find a brain that is talking. You will find a heart that is talking. You will find the body and the cells and the microorganisms inside this body that are always talking to each other, communicating like people in a city, presidents, government, police, the lawyers, and us, the average citizens. So I'm saying that there are different layers to each level of your soul, each phase basically. So number 1, it's you. Number 2, it's you. Yes, I can see you. Number 3 is the feeling of looking at yourself as another person. So basically, let's say I'm sitting on this couch, and I'm just like quiet, I'm thinking, and I'm saying to myself, you know what, Chris? Yeah, see, I'm even talking as Chris is a second person. That is the second face. It's like the first face is I, The second phase is we, and I love it. Alright, so let's go to the third. So we're like, I'm sitting on the couch and thinking to myself, Chris, what are you doing with your life? How's your day going? What's your goals for the next week? And Chris is answering, well, I'm thinking of making a video, and I don't want it to be AI only. I want it to be philosophical, like insightful, so that people can learn something else as well. And you have this conversation between yourself and you. And apart from that, you also have yourself as the viewer, who's standing either here, there, behind, above, in front. I mean, right now I'm looking at myself, which is a different version of you through the camera, right? Yeah. It sounds crazy, but you can understand it. So yeah, the third phase is basically you looking at yourself through a third person view perspective. The fourth phase is basically, maybe we call it the fourth dimension, maybe we call it, I don't know, a spirit. The fourth phase is basically the part of you that connects itself with the source, or God, or Allah, or the universe. So for example, when you say to yourself, I wish the universe would give me something like a sign, or a message. That universe is basically yourself sending you a message through space, time, and consciousness, connecting it to your third person who is looking at you, and then conveying it into your head, which is the soul inside the machine. Yeah, we're talking about AI, right? So yeah, you have to realize that even AI has a soul, but we don't know what it is yet, and when it is, or if it is real. So basically, your third person soul is sending you into the machine of your body the message that you want to receive, and within that message you realize that, okay, so I received this from the universe, I received this from myself, or God, or whatever you want to call it, and now you're helping yourself understand the message and convey it into your reality as what it is. And that's where the first and second phases begin to have the conversation of the actual idea of making the video. And I know all this sounds crazy, but yeah, it's fun to think about, and it's true in a sense, but you have to understand that sense, that we are not who we see in the mirror, or we might be who we see in the mirror, but another mirror parallel dimension of ourselves talking in the mirror. Okay, so let's just break this down make it a little bit simple for you who is watching, because I know it's a lot of information and we need like a few simple steps to realize what we're talking about. So the first phase of the spirit is your actual self, the actual Christos Solanos, who is sitting right here talking to a camera, who is actually talking to you, the viewer, through the camera, through the screen, through the messages of electricity that's being passed down around the entire world. The second one is the spirit within the machine of Christos Solanos, which is, of the machine, that of the body that is called Christos Solanos, that is viewing everything, observing everything, and is sending commands and conversations to the body to do whatever it's going to do. It's the actual life of the body. That is your second phase. The third phase is the observer, which is the part of you that is observing your life. Yeah, I can feel it right now, like I'm observing myself sitting in this room, in this entire room, in a corner which is not that big, but it looks big because it's a big desk. Yeah. Recording the video and talking to you. And the fourth phase, when I say phase, I mean actual phase. I mean self. I mean consciousness. Part of yourself. So the fourth one is actually the observer of the observer, looking down on you as God is looking down or around or through you or everywhere. Or the observer is basically what we might say in my family, the universe, that it's looking at you and asking you, what do you want in life? What do you want to do? What is your command for today, so that I may give it to you? And this universe, this fourth phase of consciousness, is actually part of a bigger one that is it's difficult to understand. Oh, actually no, it's not difficult to understand. It's easy to understand, but difficult to view in your head because of the dimensions it's coming from, the reality is coming from. But for now we're gonna stick to the four, which is body, Chris, yeah, the spirit within the machine called the body, the spirit that is the observer of the body, that is seeing everything that the body is doing throughout the day, and the observer of the observer and the machine and the soul of the body, which is actually, it's like we call it the architect, or I call it the architect. I mean, when I say we, I'm not talking about anyone else, I'm just talking about this guy. This is so look, I'm not crazy, I'm just trying to explain a different perspective of life that I have, because usually when we say hi, I'm Christos Solanos, I'm this guy, nice to meet you. We think that we are only just one person, but we are not. That's the thing I'm trying to say. And usually people don't understand it because they haven't been exposed or open to that idea yet. And I want to say thank you for a person that we talked with. It's actually a parent. A few days ago we went to my family and we had a dinner, and a mother of a child said to us, it's important to say, it's better to say, maybe, you know, if your child says I'm not good enough, you put the word yet at the end, which pushes you and tells you it's okay, because you might not be good enough now, but you're gonna be good enough later on, tomorrow, the day after, the week, next year, you know, by learning. Anyway, I'm blabbering off into other subjects, so I hope you understood today that the four phases of consciousness is the self, the body, is the self within the body, and the self that observing the body, and the actual person inside, and the actual observer from above. Those are the four faces of consciousness, and or the soul, according to the way I view it, the way I perceive it, and the way I've come to understand it through a series of learning experiences within my 34 years of life. And yeah, I am 34. Right, so have a great day. Please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, so I may know that you like this kind of videos, and because I'm really thinking of making a series of answering the big questions, because I love answering big questions. Alright, have a good day and see you on the next one. Bye.